Hi everybody, this is Shauna from Shauna.plans on Instagram and here on YouTube. So for tonight's video, I thought I would launch the next digital paper challenge. I'll show you the papers and I will make a spread using them and using the custom scene Procreate templates. So I got all sorts of things to show you. First, let's all admire my beautiful vintage green St. Patrick's Day homepage that I made today using the St. Patrick's kit from Midway Studios. It's green, it's vintage, I love it. Next, I will show you the papers and the shop that they came from. So we're going to do 4 papers this week. These are from the Midway paper pack from Optic Illusions. There's a ton of papers in this pack. You can see like there's all of these. So I picked 4 that match but are all kind of different from each other. So we can still have matchy spreads, but not like crazy matchy like purple on purple like last week, which was super fun. And I think I saw at least 10 different people participated in my challenge, which is fantastic. I loved everything you guys made. It was so much fun to see all the different ways you could use the digital papers. Excuse me. So I'm thinking this week with 4 papers to choose from, we can make some really pretty spreads. So Optic Illusions is the shop that these are from. She donated the whole Midway paper kit to me, but I don't want to give out the whole kit because then there'll be too much difference from spread to spread. Like I want to see everybody use the papers differently, but I also want to see some similarities throughout and stuff like that. So I think 4 will be the max papers that I give away. However, or that I use for 1 week's challenge. In a few weeks or a couple months, whenever I'm used up all the wonderful, amazing donations we've got from other shops, maybe I'll do another round with a few more papers from that Midway kit. Anywho, Optic Illusions has some beautiful paper packs. I've already purchased like 4 of them, I think. And for the next week or so, they are all on sale, 50% off. So there's some really gorgeous papers just for a couple bucks. These are all Canadian pricing. I purchased this one, which is really cute and springy. Very fun. And the other one, I got 4, but there's 2 that were like my favorites. Check these ones out. Anyway, so no code needed. I will link the Optic Illusion shop to this video in the Facebook group, everywhere possible. So make sure you check her out, favorite her shop, give some love to her paper packs, and do that with all of your favorite Etsy shops, because even if you can't buy a kit, you can still show your support by favoriting things. It helps with the algorithms and what it shows people when they're browsing. So make sure you stop by this Etsy shop and give her some love and thanks for donating these wonderful papers for our challenge. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna copy this. And actually, you know what I'm gonna do while I'm here? I'm gonna select, so I'm gonna give you the Dropbox link to this folder so you'll be able to download all 4 papers. I'm gonna right now save them into my images. I'm gonna go here. So there are custom palette generators. There's lots of different ones. I downloaded, or I found 3 websites. This one is Coolers, there's ColorMind, and there's Canva. So you can upload an image. I'm gonna go from file. So I was playing with this one earlier today, and you can see this one gives us 4 kind of colors that are commonly used in the page. And it's really interesting to see the different websites and how different the palettes are. Like, look at this one, doesn't even come remotely close to what this one came up with for our palettes. Like, these brown color doesn't even seem to be really in here. It's like the stems on the branches or something. So this one focused more on the reds and oranges and the green. This one, the color mind, is interesting. It says the algorithm works in a semi-random way. So you can click it again to see different results, because it doesn't take the exact, it finds colors that work together, not just colors from the image, but also ones that kind of coordinate with each other. So you can see it's, each time we do it, it's pulling similar colors, but slightly different. So this color mind, I think, of the three, was my favorite palette creator when I was playing earlier. I used one that was more random, another watercolor picture, and the colors it pulled were really weird. Like on this one, it pulled like blacks. I don't know, this Coolers one, not loving the way it pulls. I don't know if there's a setting you can change somewhere maybe so that it's not so weird, because this one seemed to match the least. The Canva was pretty nice, and this color mind I really like. So I'll link the color mind in the description to the video, but you can Google, and the palette creators are easy to find and free. So let's grab this image, and you can see it's picked some colors for us. There's the red, it kind of matches. These ones aren't quite what I would have expected. Oops. I would have expected this turquoise to show up a little bit more, but it's not showing up at all. Doesn't matter how many times. Let's see what Canva gives us. Interesting, very similar. And so you can see it gives you the hex codes as well. I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to do a screenshot. Now I'm going to be using a bunch of Procreate templates that I purchased from Custom Scene. It's this digital planner creator kit that I'm going to use. I did do a video a couple weeks ago showing it in detail. And just to give you a heads up, I do get a commission if you follow my link and purchase. So this, I would have used them in my video even if they didn't have an affiliate program, but they had one, so I signed up because why not? So full disclosure, I gotta be upfront with you guys. But this kit is really fun. So when you download it, I showed you in my last video on it a couple weeks ago, I had the files kind of all, you download, they have it in, you can get Procreate, Photoshop, Affinity, I think there was another one, as well as some PNGs. And so when you download them, you get these files. Everything's kind of all mixed up. I went through today and I took all the individual folders or image Procreate files out of the folders and reorganized them into these folders. So I guess what it was before is each kind of planner kit came with a few disc accessories. Let me just go back. So you can see like each, this is one kit, this is one kit, this is one kit, this is one kit kind of, and each one comes with some desk accessories. And so they were each in their own folder. So when you were looking for a certain pen, you were hunting through like 7 different folders trying to find the pen that you wanted. So I reorganized it. Now all my my Procreate file, these are all Procreate files, and they're all in this one pen and pencil folder. So I find it a lot easier if I want to pull a new one into Procreate. It's so easy. You tap it and it opens in Procreate. So easy. I have them all in a stack here. So if I say select and I choose this stack and say stack and then press the X, it will add that gel pen to the bottom of my stack. And it's important that I pressed the stack first, because then it moves it to the bottom. If I hit the pin first and then the stack, it would put the pin at the front, all the stuff at the back, and it would move the stack's place in this list. It would move it up to the front here. So these are a whole bunch of Procreate files. I make sure that I don't only keep them in Procreate, because it's so easy to damage the file, to make a change and then save and not be able to get rid of that change. I have a really bad habit of swiping up to get this little bar, and now I've ruined my design by drawing all over it trying to change my screen, because instead of swiping up, it draws on the page. So I have to often reload the Procreate template because I've damaged it. I spent a good chunk of today using the templates and making some new desk spreads. I used one of the kits from Shadowcat Digital for this one, and I made a really cute daily spread with it. I haven't used these anywhere in any spreads yet, but I made this little bit with a closed front cover and some papers and a clip. I thought that turned out really pretty. These images are from Digital Curio. This was a spread I made using the week 1 free digital paper. And then that's one we did together on my last video. So I've been busy today organizing and playing. So I thought we could do up a spread, or make up some goodies anyway, using these files. So there are 2 covers in these kits, and I just wanted to show you. I'm going to tap this cover and I'm going to open it up. Some of them come with the background selected, so you can just deselect the background. And if you look at your details, there's stuff that's turned off, so you can make so you can see I've just made it now so that it looks like it's unclipped before. What am I missing here? I don't want that one, and I need the lock. Nope, I need the button. Oh wait, the button's on the inside. So now it's a closed little lock. So you can see how there's differences. Additionally, we can turn all the locks off and use an elastic band. So these are so customizable. Additionally, we can make the band one sticker and the cover a separate sticker, and that way we can tuck things under the band. So that was one of the cool things that I figured out when I was playing with the kits earlier today. So I think maybe we'll do that for our first sticker. So let's go, I'm going to insert a photo. Now I already added those 4 pictures to my camera roll. So let's grab this one. Now I want it to be in this little planner group. So I'm going to put it up here under the Your Design, and let's put it above. I need a clipping mask. There we go. Clipping mask. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Okay. Oh, look at that green. The default green looks really good with that. I'm also going to insert a photo, and I'm going to grab this. This is the palettes that we made. I'm going to long press on the red just to select that color, and then I'm going to delete that. Now let's go to our elastic band and just expand it. Here's where you would do your color drop. So just like that, in only a couple minutes, I have made a matchy-matchy to our palette, elastic and planner. Now I'm going to take the elastic off and I'm going to go share, PNG, and copy. And I'm going to be careful, swiping up and going here. I'm going to do a daily for tomorrow. Nothing that I'm making is going to match this green background, so once we're done, we'll cover it up. So I'm going to paste this. I'm just going to crop the right and the top, maybe a little on the left, but I don't want to crop too much because I don't want to make that shadow look like it's been cut off. So there's my planner, and you can see these papers have some amazing texture, which really, I think, adds a lot to the realisticness that's already there from these custom scene files. I'm going to do split screen with Procreate, and I'll try and zoom in if things are small, but this way we can go back and forth just a little bit easier. So now I'm going to turn the elastic band on and the planner off, share, PNG, and copy. And then we can go over here and just hit paste. And this needs a lot of cropping. Again, I don't want to get too close to where the shadows are because I don't want to wreck them. We'll just resize that so that it's just a smidge bigger than the planner, because you want it to look like the elastic's going over either side. All right. And I'm just going to turn this back on so that when I'm glancing at it, it doesn't look like there's only an elastic and no cover. So now I'm going to find a piece of paper. There's two here that I think would work really well. So let's grab this one. And I'm going to add a photo. And this is why I pre-saved all of these into my photos before we started from the Dropbox file. That way they are all handy for doing this. So we're going to go share, PNG. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Let's take that one away. I'm going to do a different. I'm going to save that background to be my desktop. So I'm going to use, let's use this one for our piece of paper. So now I'm going to take my inserted image and I'm going to lower the opacity because it's a note paper. It's something I want to be able to write on. So we'll make it 30. And because I've lowered the opacity, this kind of pink shade underneath is kind of glowing through. So I'm just going to drop white on there so that the pink doesn't glow through and I don't lose that tone that matches. So now I'm going to go share, PNG, and copy. And let's paste this on. I'm going to take this elastic and do, oops, not a copy, hang on. Cut. I want to bring this up to my top layer. And then I can take this little note paper we just made and tuck it under the elastic. So this I'm gonna have as my background. So I'm just gonna shift it up there out of my way. And I don't know why this isn't cutting. Come on, good notes. I don't want to take a screenshot. There we go. So now when I'm ready, I can stretch this out and see it'll be underneath my planner. So I'm just going to leave it there in the corner, kind of out of my way for now. So I'm doing a daily spread. So I'm going to take my checklist as well. And I'm going to insert an image here. So which one? We've used this one, this one, this one. Oh, this might be busy. Let's give it a try. So I don't think I want the pinwheel to be centered. I'm going to move it so it's kind of there. And let's get rid of this one and hit the clipping mask. What have we got for little people? Let's do potato. Cute. Okay. Share, PNG, and copy. We can add this to my little stack here that we've started. Okay, so now I think we need some kind of clip. I really like these, these spiral ones, but I don't think I have one that looks like it's clipped on the page yet. So I'm gonna go into my files and go into the clips folder that I made. And this one is set to look like it's already on the page. So I'm just gonna move that into my stack and then let's go edit it. So we'll add, and I'm just grabbing this again. Oops. Select my paintbrush, and I think I'm gonna grab this greenish color, and then we'll delete that. I've got the change color selected, so I'll just drop that on, and I have a cute little green paper clip. So we'll share, PNG, copy. So when I was reading and learning about these Procreate files, they are actually like made from photographs, which is why they look so realistic. I think that's pretty cool. So tomorrow is Monday, the 14th. I think it's a Winnie on this one. So Monday, March 14th. I can't believe that we're already that far into March. Turn my image tool off, and I'm gonna resize this and angle it so that it matches the angle of this little scrap paper that we made. All right, so we have 4 patterns that are all kind of matchy, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've used them all once. And I'm not going to use this one for anything but the background. So I still have these 3 that I can work with because we do need a few more elements for my spread. I need a to-do list, and I need my wins and my gratitude. So I'm thinking we take this one. I'm going to turn the logo off. So now it looks like a piece of paper. It looks almost like it was torn out of a book here. So I'm going to add a photo. I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to put it above the color change one. And it's automatically already, you can see that little arrow there, so we know the clipping mask is already on. I just need to resize it so that it covers the whole paper. Let's just make that a bit smaller so it's not under my menu there. And this time I think I want the thing in the right in the middle. So you can see the Procreate puts sort of yellow lines to show that it's centered. You can see there was the yellow line here and here. So I'm happy with that, but I'm gonna do like we did with the other one, and I'm just gonna drop the opacity down to about half. That looks really cute. And you can see the texture from the paper is still there, and you have the texture from the Procreate file. I think together the two make like a really neat looking effect. I'm gonna do in share, PNG, copy. So let's paste that on. I'm gonna put it to the side, and I'm gonna grab all this, cut, and paste. So I had my images turned off so it did not grab everything. It only grabbed my date. Cut and paste. So we'll put that back down. And now I can take this piece of paper that we made. I'm gonna make it look like it's kind of under the planner. So much fun. And then I can get my wins and my to-dos on here. Let's see what other things we can pull here. So there's sticky notes, which have some really cool shadow effects to make it look like they're they have that bit of adhesive to the paper. And then there's these scraps of paper as well, and this one cute little notepad. I really like this notepad. Eventually I'm gonna have just about everything in this stack twice. I think the notepad's already in here 3 times. That's all right. So I'm going to, I should have done this from the beginning. So these are our 4 colors that the palette creator selected. And you can make your own palettes by creating a palette. And then this selects, when you poke the square, it adds whatever you have highlighted. And you can long press it to delete. So, oops. Oh, let's go away. All right, so I have the paintbrush selected. So if I use my finger and I long press, now that beige one is there. And so I can add it to my palette. I can long press and add that to my palette. And you can see it's really easy to go through and add things in. I can make my own palette without using the color selector like we did, the Canva app and all of that. So you can see that's really easy. This one is a duplicate, I don't really need it. So now let's delete that. I'm gonna do something else. Okay, so now this one has everything in it. Look at all my palettes. Wow. So you can create a palette from any of these things. So Procreate will do the palette selector for you. So, but it's pretty intense. Like Procreate just pulled all of these different colors from this one image. Like I don't even know how it got that really dark brown, but that really dark brown would probably complement it really nicely. So you can pull your palette colors that way. So these are the ones we made by long pressing the image that we got from Canva, and then a couple extras that we made. And these are the ones that Procreate made all on its own. So that's how I ended up with 8 million palettes. You can see it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to turn the logo off and I'm going to select the color change layer, and I'm going to go and pick something to make this notepad. I want it to be a pale color that I can write on for my to-do list, but I also want it to not blend in too much with this background. I'm already a little bit worried about this piece of paper blending in too much because of the off-white tones. So I think because we have the red, maybe this kind of paler red would be fun. Now there's colors here that need to be changed, and they're really small, so I find it's hard to do like a color drop. So I'm going to add a layer and put it here, and I'm going to make it a fill layer so it automatically pulls the color that I already had selected, and I'm going to make it a clipping mask. So now it's still blue. Why is it still blue? You can see the blue between the rings. I think I need to do the same thing here. Okay. So I'm gonna go undo, 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 undo. Okay, we're gonna make a whole bunch of clipping masks. I'm gonna do one for almost every layer. So I'm gonna select this one. I'm gonna add, and this will be a clipping mask, and it will be a fill layer. Add, and I'm gonna put over this one. It's already clipping. We'll make it a fill layer, and add, and clipping mask, and fill layer. So now everything's red. So if I want to change this notepad, all I have to do is change the color of these layer 8, 9, and 10 that I've just made myself, and then I don't have to worry about really precisely dropping color into different places on the notepad. So I think for my rings, I'm going to grab this dark brown. So I have my fill layer selected. I can just drop anywhere and it's going to automatically change all those rings to that dark brown color. I think that looks really good. And then this one is kind of the background, so I want to do a darker red. Actually, no, I think I'm going to leave it that red, and I'm going to make this one of these pinky colors. So now you can see that back page, you can just see a peek of it there, and the stuff on the inside, it's darker, and it should be darker because it's kind of shadowed. So I'm happy with that now. So let's share PNG and copy. And I'm going to paste that just there for now so it's a bit out of the way. So let's go back to this paper. I'm going to delete this image and I'm going to make a couple of solid colored sheets that are dark. I don't know if you've noticed, I've chosen the copy option for pretty much all of these because I don't want to fill up my camera roll with a bunch of stickers that I'm probably not going to use again. So what I'm doing is I'm making a bunch of pieces of paper that I can put behind this paper so that there's a contrast between the background and this paper. You can see how easy it is to just quickly change it. Okay, so now I have them all to this side there. I'm going to grab all of this and cut and paste it back down again. Okay, so now I'm going to grab these papers that I made and resize them to about the same size and just put an angle on them. Okay, so we have the papers all kind of sticking out. I feel like they're just a bit too perfect. So I'm just going to mix them up a little bit so they're not quite as exactly staggered. Okay. Now, just for fun, if I stretch this one out, you can see it's gonna kind of contrast. It doesn't blend in. You can see this corner here where it blends. The whole thing would be like that if I hadn't put the paper stack underneath. Okay. So I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna crop because I don't need so much border. Again, I'm not going to crop too much on these sides because I don't want to mess up my shadows. I'm going to put that down there. Okay. So this one's going to be my to-do list. Which I haven't really got a lot to do tomorrow. Work. 7:30 to 4. I have to do Mike's laundry because he has to go into the office on Tuesday. I think that's the critical stuff. So I got my images turned off. I'm going to grab that and just make it a little bigger. There we go. So now on this paper, I'm going to put my wins and my gratitude. So we'll grab that same text again. I've been using it throughout. Winds. I'm so glad GoodNote gave the recents back. I was lost without it. So I still have my images unselected. And I'm just going to center it on the page. It's going to take a little bit of fidgeting to kind of get those worked in. Maybe let's just shift that over so it's not quite under the planner as much, and then shift it all back. All right, so I have all of my daily planning elements. So now I can put my background on. So cute. Okay, so now I have a little bit of space still that I can work with. You know what? I think I want to make that planner cover bigger. This might be a challenge. We shift a little bit more. So I want to be careful not to take anything off the page completely. So I can select all this and put a little bit of a tilt on it. And made it a little bit bigger. There we go. Perfect. So now we need some pens. So I've got several already selected. There's highlighters. This pen is pretty cool. I'm a big fan. Maybe we'll make one to match this cover because I've only used that star paper one time. So let's insert that in and we'll stretch it out. I'm going to put it down here and delete the other image. And you can resize, like if you want the stars to be more noticeable, they're more fitting, I guess. You can shift it around to find sort of a part of the stars that you like. And then we can change the colors that the click pen has. Make this blue, maybe the dark green. So I'm just selecting the layer. So this one has that little bit of red right there. So I think I'm going to stick with the reddish tones. Oh. So you have to be careful that you drop it in the right place. So the reason, I don't know if you can see, I wrecked this file. You can see there's like a little bit of a shadow there. So oh, now I really wrecked it. So, and that's why this little thing is so small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the eraser and I'm just going to erase. You can't even tell what I'm erasing, but you can see now that's centered. So I fixed it. This one, because I didn't accidentally draw on the important part of the image, it was off to the side. I can fix it fairly easy without re-downloading the whole thing. So now I'm going to take, this is the black line right there, and I'm going to use this brown. It's a really subtle effect, but I like it better than having that really dark black. And I could also change the white part too if I wanted, but I think I'm going to leave it. Okay. And then we've used the spiral clip on our spread, so it can be fun to, oh, sorry, that was a text message. I didn't mean to poke it. I meant to poke this. So this looks like it changes the both. It's not one color and one the other. You can see how the change color layer is the same. So share, PNG, copy. I'll just stick these in the corner here. And I think I'm done. I'm pretty happy with that spread. So I've got the date, my checklist, my wins, my gratitude, and my to-do. Now when I was doing all that moving around, looks like I shifted this, so it's not actually where I had it before. So let's just move it back. And there is my first submission for the paper challenge that starts tomorrow. I will get this video loaded. I will get the Dropbox link for the papers up so that you guys can also start making your spreads. I can't wait to see what you do. I hope that I gave you some fun ideas. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Facebook Messenger is probably the best. There's also Instagram. YouTube works, but it's a little harder to chat in the YouTube comment area. So check the description for links. Check out Optic Illusions. She's 50% off. Remember, these pages she's so graciously donated to us are for personal use only. And I think that's it. I will be back on Thursday to talk about the new releases from Pink Punch Studio. So I will see you then. I hope you all have a great few days. Bye.